Hi everyone, this is like our meet and greet. So I'm Daniel. I'm the founder and executive director of Culture Ball. We're doing more programming in like Chicago and New York. So we've mostly done stuff in Nigeria, but I'm kind of excited to like kind of build our New York and Chicago family. I'm currently trying to collect data on all the African musicians in New York because as we try and do performances, I want to know who's out there. I met Okwe. I want to say Okwe Yemi, but it's not Okwe. Okwe Oluwa. So it's nice to know there's a Nigerian singer here, but I'm gonna spend time doing a lot of research. So if I message you after this event asking who the other Africans you know, please respond to that message because I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, I'm very excited to just do more programming in Chicago and New York. I live in Chicago. I used to work for the Chicago Philharmonic. I'm a master's student in like public administration, so like my concentration is like nonprofit management, but I'm passionate about like performing arts. But like, you know Sphinx? You know Sphinx?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to do like this African version of Sphinx. What I'm trying. So like, I know Sphinx has their familia, but I feel like sometimes within the Black diaspora we throw like a big blanket, but then like I think we should kind of acknowledge like the nuances. So I'm trying to acknowledge like the nuances of like African music. All right, great speech, great speech.
Good afternoon, friends. Thank you so much for coming. It means so much to me. Thank you to Daniel and Okoshopo for inviting me to apply with them for this International Human Rights Arts Festival. I think it was about two months ago when you called.
Yeah.
And you said you wanted to do this. Do you have anything that talks about human rights? We're like, well, we can find one. So I'm glad that we're finally putting it together. Struggles and Hope really is a song cycle that talks about all the struggles, the common struggles that we go through, primarily struggles related to financial security, struggles related to health. Remember, I started working on the song cycle in 2019, just after I had come back from New York from an audition actually, to study here, which didn't go so well because there was snow and I'd never been in a place where it snows before, so it was all happening too much, so the audition didn't go well, and I found myself just thinking about the missed opportunity because I believed that I wouldn't make it into MSM, and I was thinking about that missed opportunity, and then I was like, no man, we still have hope. I should remain hopeful that I'm gonna make it. So the audition didn't do well, but the pre-round section application of sending 10 pieces, that went pretty well, right? That's why they invited me to the audition, and I had a bit of a personality that would help me get into the good graces, and so I started working on Struggles and Hope, and actually the first piece is titled Hope. I'm not going to play all of it, but I just wanted to hear it. I like to start all my concerts with this one because of just how simple it is and just how it goes to the heart. And I started with a short note that says, into efunekayo ukuba sibambisane sincedisane kwaye sisebenzisane singabantu, which translates to what we need is to work together, help each other, and move forward as one people. Which really presents us to the struggle, so it's a bit more darker. I don't want to play all of it, it's also on YouTube, but that's the piece most of the song cycle is built from, and interestingly, it has no singer, so I just speak on the opening piece and I don't sing, and then I sit on the stage and I let the instrumentalist take it over. So the song cycle itself is scored for string, quintet, and piano and voice, but for this festival's purpose, we are doing piano, voice, violin, and cello. And I thought, at first I was angry, and I spoke to Daniel about this. I was like, I want the entire ensemble, I want my dream. But since I've been practicing with the guys, it sounds amazing. I'm pretty confident that we will do very well. The second piece is titled I Remember. That piece is dedicated to all the people we lost during the COVID pandemic. I lost my dad, one of my best friends almost died in ICU. You know, my granny is still recovering. You know, there's something called long COVID. And so I Remember talks about that. It's powerful. I don't want to play it now because I might get in the mood. So I want to remain in a positive mood. And the third piece, which now we go into struggles that are more like communal and societal, is titled Disappointment. Disappointment won't be featured in tonight's performance, in tonight's program, because it's also instrumental. Now I'd like to play some of it for you guys. Why disappointment? Disappointment was triggered by the Time magazine cover. This is March 2019, the same month I just come to audition here. Time magazine that month has got like a picture of Johannesburg, and they say the world's most unequal society. And so I was just expressing my disappointment. I'm trying to keep it as tight as possible, but I hope you can feel that disappointment. And especially when you look at that picture, because on the one side you've got like very affluent suburbs, and then on the other side you've got a township with 2 million people living in it. And then, of course, with every tragic story, there's also a story of hope. So we cleanse that darkness with the next piece, which is titled Purity. You know, and I open with this beautiful solo violin accompanied by the piano. You know, I don't know if you guys saw some of the rehearsals we had. And then the cello comes in out of nowhere. Song cycle. It's the longest song actually, it's around 5 minutes long, and it really cleanses the darkness that disappointment brings. And on the projector tonight I have Archbishop Desmond Tutu, so if you want someone to do a bit of cleansing, that's about as good as it can get. But from there we start to have a bit more optimism. We move into Dreams, which talks about the societal dream. So for instance, in South Africa we have a huge issue with gender-based violence, which is really, really out of control. So dream is our version of saying, you know, we wish that our friends, our sisters, our grandparents, our grandmothers could feel safe, you know, walking around our community. So that's what Dreams is about. It's a positive piece, but of course the backdrop is that darkness of crime and gender-based violence, which is also linked to inequality. It's so weird. In South Africa, almost every issue you have is linked to inequality, and hence the Time magazine really got through me, and hence I decided with Struggles and Hope And then after that, we have Today, which is a very, very powerful piece. It's going to be my favorite out of the performance. I'm doing a poem written by my friend Ndando. And then the second last piece of the song cycle is titled Ubuntu, right? Ubuntu. It's written by Ndando Ndume, my friend in Cape Town, wonderful baritone opera singer. And then the last piece is titled Ematribini, and Ematribini is the village where I come from. And why is Ematribini the finale to this song cycle? It's because in Africa we have the saying that says it takes a village to raise a child. And I am the product of such village, and that village is known as Ematribini. So yeah, that's Struggles and Hope, friends.
What did you say that name again?
Ematribini.
I'm gonna have to like enroll in a language course. Like, even your name, I'm gonna take some lessons. But yeah, we just, I can't say your name. I'm gonna take some lessons.
Awesome. Any comments? I'll take a comment. This is a free space. I'll take questions.
I have a question.
Yes, Angelique.
So, what's your? I know you said tonight you have your orchestration is violin, cello,
Piano and cello. Yes.
cello, and solo voice.
Yes.
Do you envision expanding it? Or?
So I originally wrote it for string quintet, because I like the double bass, right? So string quintet as well. I don't want to experiment. And you're a composer, Angelique. I won't lie to you. I've been tempted. I've been tempted. But then every time I do get tempted, I always refer back to why I ended up with this instrumentation. I wanted something very minimalistic and incredibly simple. This is about as simple harmony as it can get, particularly for something written in 2019, 2021. So that was my idea. I wanted to keep it simple so that the focus is on the story and not, the elaborate music. In fact, I'll make this short. One of my professors, well, the first piece, Hope, the one I played, he was like, you gotta write something there. You're a tenor. Like, you gotta write some melody there. And I've been thinking about it. I've been tempted, but sometimes you should let the music speak for itself.
Yeah, it was beautiful. For me, this is totally what I imagined. The first piece, such a beautiful melody, and the fact the title was Hope. I was just imagining a choir singing it. No words. Just
Voices.
voices.
It's interesting.
It was really beautiful melody. So
Yeah.
but that's just again I hate it.
It happens.
I'm sorry, I haven't even heard the whole thing, but you have beautiful melodies.
Thank you.
So, congratulations.
I'll think about that. You never know. Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
Yes, Daniel.
I've spent some time in Vegas, and I remember I spoke to a lot of musicians. Most times when they kind of develop as composers, they don't have access to works of African composers to study from. So when you're growing up as a composer, I guess what influence did maybe Western composers versus African composers having and also through your program here, just how have you developed as a composer within I guess because it has a lot of cultural relevance. But yeah, just the Western compositional versus African compositional, how you develop yourself.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great question. In South Africa, we have a strong choral tradition, and I think that's linked to what Angelique was saying. In South Africa, we have very strong choral music tradition, and Tando might say he's from Eswatini, but we have a similar culture that almost every opera singer, black opera singer, started in a choir. And the same applies for most black composers. Most black composers come from a choir, either from the church or the school system. And so growing up in that system of music training in South African schools, choral at Eisteddfod, I was inspired by Mr. Mnomia, SPP Mnomia, my favorite composer, Zulu composer, genius, Mqingisela Sibisi, another Zulu composer. We have Mwarane, who's Sutu, who's actually a relative of former President Mbeki. Very interesting, I didn't know that at the time. He inspires me. We have younger composers a guy called Sbuson Jeza. I think he was part of the 430 with you, Angelique, as well. Wonderful composer. He too comes from the tradition of choral music. And then, of course, since I went to school, I will be inspired by, your Wagner. Benjamin Britten is one who's very close to me because of his obsession with his home city. He was very obsessed with bringing music to his home city, and he did that, and that's something I'm passionate about. And I think that's what Ogojobo is about as well, bringing musical access to young people in Africa. So those are some of my favorite. Otherwise, I'm a Wagnerian. I think you guys know that already. Yeah. Yes, Chandu.
Well, I am just in awe of oh my God, of you and what you do. I think the opening piece, as Angelique pointed out, the melody was just so beautiful. I was actually surprised at the end. I was waiting for you to start singing because I was like, oh, it's such a beautiful melody. Of course, it's a tenor. It's for a tenor. And like that soaring melodic line, and then descending and little like trills over there in terms. I was like, oh, that's a tenor. They always get the most beautiful melody. And so as a baritone, I don't have any problems that it's not a tenor singing. Just keep it away from the tenor and the piano. But it is absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to when they hear the whole thing. Of course, after this, I'm doing a deep dive in YouTube. To see
some baritone stuff there. Yeah, some beautiful stuff.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here, and I'm like, man, I've been needing to work with African composers, but especially composers from like my culture or something similar. And I actually reached out to some composers in Eswatini, asking to commission works, and surprisingly, they never get it done. They never get back to me, or they always, they promise it's gonna happen. But I'm like, okay, people are, that busy. I think it's not the priority. So I've been just like itching to find people that can work with that. As I incorporate that into my own artistic practice, which I do a lot in Miami. I do a lot of these like sort of concerts where I get to sing music that I want, which is an opera singer. We don't get that a lot. You do what you're hired to do. But with these solo concerts, doing music from the continent to doing like other genres. So I'm very, very happy. I'm going to be thanking Marieke for
thinking
about today and discovering you. Because I thought you were a tenor, just a singer.
I am a tenor.
I know you are, but I thought you were just a tenor, like a singer. And you sit down and you play the piano, and it's like your music. I'm like, who is this guy? So I am just I total admiration and respect for you and the passion which you speak about the music and the way you answered Daniel's question about your.
When you play, you like, hey, I feel like I'm like you.
Yeah.
Swimming on it.
And like the people who inspire you, I'm like, I don't know, but you're excited. I'm like, man, this would be very exciting to work with this person. So I don't know if that was a question. It was definitely not a question. I just wanted to express so many thoughts and emotions that are going through me right now. Thank you for creating this, and I'm so sad that I cannot be there this evening for the performance, but I don't doubt that I will have a chance to see it another time, perhaps with the full orchestration as you conceived it. But no, thank you for this is a gift, and I think as an African, as a Southern African. Half South African actually. My mom is from Johannesburg.
Oh, cool.
So as you're going through the different themes and topics and inspirations for this music, I identify with a lot of the
struggle,
the struggles and the hopes and the dreams, and so yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys. We have to go, but they're not here yet, so take anyone who wants to go and, you know. Yes, Angelique, feel free.
So, it's in English, right?
So that's the interesting thing. I write multilingual because I love that about South Africa. Actually, that's one of the things I loved about UBC too, was that we had passages in English and others in isiXhosa, and that, I think, sells the whole Rainbow Nation aspect of it. In fact, one of my favorite songs, not on this song cycle, that I wrote a couple of years ago, we had 5 different languages in one song, you know.
Wow.
And I mean, if you're South African, there's more than 5 ways of saying I love you. So I like to make use of that. So in fact, I'm doing 2 pieces in isiXhosa. The only piece in English is I Remember, and then for today I'm doing a poem in English written by Ndana. So I like to do that here in New York. I like to just sing Xhosa and wish everybody luck understanding what it's about. Because we do that all the time with German and Italian and French.
Yeah, I love that, and I think that's me. Like, I don't speak Xhosa, I don't. But I want to write clearly, who I work with. He does, and I'd love to delve into that, like opera. Why not? Like, when we have English operas, we have subtitles anyway. I mean, like, seriously, and so that's something I'd love to explore.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Thank you.
Really great.
Friends, okay, I know you're a thinker.
You know what? Because recently, like, have a long walks on Thursday, so I basically heard it all already.
Oh yeah.
So, I guess one thing I really want to comment on is the melody. Just like everyone here said, I was actually expecting you to sing at the end, but
I might get some tomatoes on stage tonight.
I think for me it's your passion and the emotions that you feel from you playing and everything going on in your head. I really just appreciate the connection you created with all the struggles of everything going on in the world and how you connected that to with it. I think it's something that people can actually feel and appreciate. So
Thank you. Shall we call it, guys?
I just want to say great job. I thought it was great how you were able to combine, like, you were inspired by this Time magazine cover, you're able to connect it to, broader world events, you're able to bring it back to, like, even your father's village, and it was really cool to see how the inspiration for a lot of the pieces that you created come from so many different sources, and you're able to tie, your personal stuff with larger world events, and I'm very excited for the conversation. So.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I know we're rushing everything.